Hello, today I'm going to recommend a hidden gem. The artist is ESG. The album is Come Away With ESG from 1983. The label is 99 Records. So when I was in my mid-20s, I used to go to a funk night in Detroit at an art gallery called Detroit Contemporary. And looking back, it was one of the funnest times, in the nightlife that I would go to, I think. It was super sweaty, kind of rave kind of atmosphere. There were kegs of beer. It was open till either the police shut it down or something bad happened and they just, ended it. It would go really late. I really loved the tone of this evening. The DJs would play 45s actually, which is kind of unheard of even back then. It was just a really, really fun atmosphere. And I've never really seen it anywhere else. I've been to many cities around the world and I've been to many different clubs, dance clubs and funk and everything. I just never really saw the same thing. It was a very uniquely Detroit thing, I think. I don't remember hearing ESG in any of those evenings. It was probably played, I just didn't remember or pick it out. I was too busy dancing probably. But later, someone I was having a romantic relationship with put them on a mix. Ever since then, I've thought about how underrated they are and somewhat of a hidden gem, I think. They do get a lot of accolades from, magazines and websites like Pitchfork and stuff. But on the street, walking around, talking to people, sharing music with others, I haven't really encountered many people that talk about them. And I think that's a shame, actually. ESG stands for Emerald, Sapphire, and Gold. And how would I describe this? Well, it's kind of no wave meets post-punk. You could also say it's stripped down hip-hop or a minimalistic take on funk music. I mean, it's basically just vocals, bass, and drums, and a lot of attitude. There's also this kind of punk edge to it a little bit. Essential listening. Here's the track list. They were formed in the South Bronx in 1978. It is a group of sisters, predominantly. I will put their roles on the screen here, but I think they're the kind of band who knows their limitations, but also knows their style and they stick with it. Then they do it over and over again after they know the formula. Someone like the Ramones would be an example of this. But I think the whole album is good. There are definitely some tracks that stand out for me though. Dance is a great song. This is kind of relentless and I love the vocal delivery. I think they really know how to use empty space. Moody Spaced Out is another great track. This has some interesting samples and a sing-song thing going on. It almost has a disco beat, like some of this leans a little bit into disco. Tiny Sticks is an instrumental, but it rocks. I love the percussion on this one. The beat is pretty funky and upbeat. I mean, a lot of their songs are like this. Like I said, there's a formula, but the hit here is My Love For You. This is the hit. I really love this song. It's super funky. It goes up, it goes down. It's got great production. I think the drummer really knows how to use the cowbell, and that is an art. And like I said, I think they're masters of using their limitations to their advantage. The pros. There's something homemade about this. If you like lo-fi or DIY type stuff, you're really gonna love this. It is very high in the hip factor, even 40 years later. It really holds up for cool, and it's also very influential, I think. The band's track UFO is one of the most sampled songs in history, actually. Although it's kind of an odd song. Actually, if you know the band Glass Candy, I think she got a lot of her vocal style from Renee Scroggins, the singer here. I have a video on Glass Candy, but I definitely think there's a similarity there. The cons. This might be too repetitive for some, or even too simple, or some might even say they can't play that well. I think there's an art brut kind of thing going on here. Some of the beats actually collapse and you wonder if this is intentional or a mistake. And to be honest, I think it might be a little bit of both. Final thoughts. I don't know, this is hard to pin down. You could call it club music. I know if I entered a club and they were playing, my estimation of the cool factor of the club would go up tremendously. But I think you can see their influence on everyone from TLC to La Tigra. Anyway, I think they should get more love in the mainstream. I'm just saying. And when I put this on, it actually makes me think of those funk nights, about going to some sweaty underground dance party, not orchestrated, just kind of happen, There's something very honest about that. But that's all I got for this one. If you have anything to say about ESG, you can put that below. and the links are below. Take care. Have a good day.